Hey guys, Magic Man here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a game in my Kiev. It's a ship that I've recently been working quite a bit on because I found my performance in it quite lacking. And this is unfortunately a tier 9 game for me. It's a game that I recently had, and I wasn't a huge fan of how the matchmaker split the destroyers. But there wasn't a whole lot I could do about that, mainly because myself and the Tashkent are on our team, and this is a game of domination. So having fairly stealthy destroyers is a good thing, and the Sims and Akatsuki are both, well, I wouldn't say they're stealthy ships, but they are stealthier than both I and the Tashkent. So the other team definitely has a advantage in that area, and I'm moving kind of slow here because I want to see kind of what everyone's going to be doing, and it doesn't look like really anybody's going to be coming down this direction. And in the Kiev, because the detectability of the ship is 8.7 kilometers, you know, you're almost looking at cruiser levels of detectability. It's pretty bad. And the fact that you only have 12,800 hit points with the upgraded hull is kind of makes you not suited for capping points. And as such, I'm not going to be capping on this ship because with that little amount of health that I have in this ship, getting in close to anybody, I'm going to get melted very quickly if I come across more than one ship. And even one ship could do it, like say a Belfast. But I am gonna juke like I'm going to see if anyone comes over here to support me, but it looks like everybody's turning in towards A and B, which is fine. I'm just gonna pretend like I'm gonna cap this, and then I'm gonna go somewhere else. Now if I sound a little funny, it's probably due to the fact that I've been sick for the better part of a week. Some sort of bacterial infection. Just had a lot of throat irritation and a runny nose. Been feeling kind of cruddy, but finally starting to get over it. And maybe I can start uploading some videos on a more daily basis now. But I turned back in there because it didn't look like anybody was going to cap C, and all I saw was one battleship. And that's when the point starts getting capped, and I'm like, oh crap, that means there's a destroyer in here now. This is no bueno for me. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my engine boost and try to get the hell out of here as quick as possible. Because I was going to cap C if it was just a battleship. I felt like I could take him on. And luckily I didn't sail in there, because that's when a Donskoy pops up and a Hipper, and that would have been very bad for me. And I'm not quite sure what those shells came from, but they definitely came from behind that island. I have no idea what it was. But I'm going to get the heck out of here. I unfortunately didn't gain anything by doing that. All I did was lose some hit points, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Now I'm going to try to be effective elsewhere. The great thing about the Kiev, because of its playstyle, it really kind of punches up well. These higher tier ships, they have less of a chance for fire, but we do get one fire there on the Donskoy. And I'm trying to light some more, and oh, I actually get a second one, and that's one of those battleships. Actually, it looks like you got a Citadel on this Donskoy. But yeah, due to the way that the Kiev plays, kind of like a long-range HE spammer, it punches up pretty well, especially when you have advanced firing training to extend the range out. It really gives you a bigger zone that you can sort of sail around in safely. Now, I saw both of the enemy destroyers that were in the destroyer division were over here on the other side of A, and I figured I might as well get over here and see if I can take them out, because they're going to be a very big problem for my team if they get around the flank. And that's when I try and light a fire on this Amagi before he gets into cover. I had no idea if he had already used his damage control. Didn't really matter. If he did, the fire on him would have been a nice little boost of damage. And for whatever reason, that Otago has pushed way up. I guess he wanted to launch some torps, but he's probably going to end up dying because of it. Now, unfortunately for me, I still haven't spotted the enemy destroyers, which is a bad deal because I would like to know semi where they're at because it's been a long time since they've been spotted. Oh, and there is the Akatsuki, which is great. Now, I'm guessing this... Okay, there he goes. I was wondering why this Akatsuki wasn't firing because he is spotted, but now he appears to not be interested. He wants to disappear. I unfortunately doing a very bad job of shooting at this guy. I should be shooting at center mass and trying to hit him there. But I'm just not landing any shells. So he actually disappears off detection. Our Yagumo takes a torpedo from him. That Akatsuki, I believe, is the destroyer that gets the torpedo reload ability, which allows him to reload his torpedo tubes in 5 seconds, I believe is what it is. So he can spam out a lot of torpedoes, and unfortunately our Yagumo actually eats a torpedo and then eats a broadside of AP from the Salangi and gets himself killed. But we do have a fire rolling on him right now, which is going to do quite a bit of damage, because he no longer has his damage control. And I was hoping that I would spot another one of the destroyers over here, but for whatever reason, they just really have no reason in shooting, or no desire to shoot at anybody, which I guess I can kind of understand that. It's Akatsuki. It is, even though it's in the gunboat line, it is more of a torpedo boat, I would say, than an actual gunboat. But I'm seeing what's going on in A. I have no idea if our friendlies are going to be able to keep it under control. So I'm going to head back there and get rid of those battleships who are charging in. But I'd like to keep as many players alive on our team as possible. It's not looking too good right now. We got a Tirpitz going broadside with an Iowa. That should be a favorable exchange in R for our team. And I'm going to start firing some AP at this guy. Hopefully those torpedoes will get there quickly before that Tirpitz gets taken out. Our friendly battleship a little bit further north in the cap. It looks like he might have rammed the other battleship and died. So, a 1-for-1 trade. Don't know if it was worth it. I didn't really get a good look at his health. And I should have been leading just a tad bit, but it doesn't matter anyways. The enemy dies. And now the A cap is secure, which is great, because we've only got one cap. But that means that we can push into another one. Now, somewhere on this map, the enemy destroyer from C should be, it looks like he's already in B, according to my mini-map. He was spotted there, and yep, there he is. I was going to take the long way around and come up behind this Tirpitz, but since this Yagumo was just spotted, I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to fire some torpedoes down here, and then start shooting them. Now, I probably didn't need to do this in hindsight. I probably just should have started well on with my guns. Probably would have been the better way to go. His turrets are going to be traversing, so there's no way he can even shoot at me. And that's the end of that destroyer. So I still have to worry about the two destroyers over here on the other side of the A cap. That destroyer division is just not interested in being spotted, which is interesting because one of them is in a Sims, so I'm not quite sure what the heck he's doing. I mean, you aren't a gunboat there, buddy. You should be firing your gun. But if he's not interested in doing that, I guess that's better for me, because it's less damage he's going to be doing. And right now, there we go. We finally pulled the ships even, so now there are as many enemies dead as there are friendlies. which is good for us. And there pops up a hipper. This was a little bit, I don't want to say exciting, because I wasn't expecting him to pop up there. But, I'm not quite sure what our Tirpitz is doing. I guess he's deciding to turn around. And I would have been firing AD at this hipper, but I felt like he was angled a little bit too much. Now when he softens up his angle, I was like, oh crap, well, there goes our Tirpitz. But he actually gets his own torpedoes off, and he kills the hipper. Not exactly a great one-for-one trade, but we do have an extra battleship in comparison to theirs, which is good for me because I still have 2 cruisers left, and I would like for both of them to be done with. And torpedoes, kind of a little bit of a panic there moment. Had to turn on the torpedo beats. Managed to get away from, and apparently this Akatsuki is just going to run away from me. I was really worried that the Sims was in that smoke over there to my left. He's going to start pelting me, but the shells never come in, so I don't know. I know he's around here somewhere. I just have no idea where. And apparently this guy is just going to run away from me. And I would like to chase him because I have no idea where his friend is, and he might be trying to set up an ambush for me. So I'm not gonna sail around the other side of this island because his friend might be there, and that could be the end of me. So I'm gonna let him run away. I'm potentially setting myself up for you know, a bad thing to happen later on down the line, but I can't. It's too much of a risk in my opinion to sail in that direction. Because I could be sailing into an ambush, or I could just sail off and basically take myself out of the battle, which is not what I want to do. I want to stay around the caps. I want to be able to defend if I have to, and our other friendly destroyer is actually capping the sea point, which is good. And that's when the Sims get spotted. Now, he doesn't know where exactly I am because I was not spotted, because the Amagi's fighter plane actually spotted him as he was coming around the corner. Now I try and point that out to the Amagi because I have no idea if he was paying attention or not. I'm thinking he wasn't, or I'm not quite sure what he was thinking, because he doesn't seem to be changing his course any, and this Sims is definitely, look at him. Now that was a bad shot because I forgot that the Sims is actually one of the faster US destroyers at 38 knots, so with that speed boost, he's probably going somewhere around 40-41 knots. So I didn't lead enough. I got the lead down now, though, so I feel like I'm pretty good. He was a pretty healthy ship, but now he's not going to be. For whatever reason, he has still not shot at me. And this is when the worst thing that could possibly happen, which is what I didn't want to happen, was I got sandwiched between these 2 destroyers happens. I was just like, well, should have seen this coming. So I just fired some torpedoes in case he comes in this direction. Now, the XC actually fired some torpedoes preemptively at this Amagi. I'm guessing it's at the Amagi. I can't imagine that he should have fired them at me, but I guess he could have. Now he's going to turn into me. I was pretty sure I was going to be a dead man here. I have no idea why that Sims is not firing on me. I am spotted. He is in the smoke, so there's no danger to him. So it is what it is. But if he's going to let me kill his friend, I am A-okay with that. And we get the kill shot there. Lost a little bit of my health there. I am going to fire some torpedoes in front of this Amagi. He's not moving fast enough to actually get in the way of him because of how fast these torpedoes move. And that's when the Sims finally starts shooting at me, so I'm guessing he... I don't know what took him so long with the torpedoes on the Amagi, but the Amagi just decided to sail in a straight line past the smoke. Questionable decision, but he didn't die to the torpedoes, luckily. And he helps kill the Sims. Wasn't too worried about him though. And I'm gonna smoke up, try and save this Amagi. so we don't lose too many of our points that we accumulated here, because I felt like the North Carolina was turning his guns to shoot at the Smoggy, but it looks like he realized that, well, he's in smoke, there's no point, I can't see him. So this is pretty much going to be the battle here. We've taken out most of the enemy team, thanks to the poor decisions of the enemy destroyer division. We actually pull this one out. I'm not quite sure what they were thinking, but anyways, it helped me get the W. So I'm pretty happy about all that. And once this guy dies, it's all gonna be over. But so yeah, Kiev, pretty good ship for punching up just because of the playstyle. I was pretty happy with this game. I felt like I did everything I needed to, and our team won the game, even though I felt like we were at a disadvantage because of the destroyer distribution, but it's all good. So moving on to the results here, we actually did 72,000 damage and got 3,000 experience, sunk 2 ships, and got a little bit over 200 hits. It's a pretty good game overall, considering it was a tier 9 game and I was bottom tier, so I'm not going to complain about that. And we actually ended up on the top of the team there with 2,000 base experience. I'm not surprised. You actually earn more experience for shooting at higher tier ships, so there was a lot of those to shoot at in this game, and I'm pretty sure that's where all that experience came from. But we end up on the top of the team, and as you see there, didn't do a whole lot of damage to any ship specifically. We just kind of spread the damage around there, about 9,000, 8,000 each ship. And then most of our damage came from HE and fires, so that's what the Kiev does pretty good. You can use AP in this ship when you get in closer, and it is really good. You can Citadel cruisers with it, but end up making 100,000 on this game. But anyways, if you like this, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks.